I have here a data project. It's already connected to Git, so I have the CI/CD templates. I have added a list of recommended extensions. I'm going to use the GitHub Actions and pull requests extensions and the Visual Studio Code extension for Tinybird. Then I have the list of folders in my data project, and this is the version of the CLI we're going to use on CI/CD. Then I have configured Tinybird like this, so it uses the CLI installed in a local Python environment. This is the directory of the data project, and I have an additional extension to format files and save them. Then I have here below the terminal, so I can run commands. For instance, I'm in the main Git branch and logged into this workspace in here. I have it in the prompt as well. And also I can, since I have the Tinybird extension for Visual Studio Code, I can run any arbitrary query against the workspace I'm authenticated, or node. For instance, the node hits, it's gonna run in here. So I can more or less work from within Visual Studio Code. So I'm gonna do like a very simple change, okay? I'm gonna parameterize this value we have in here, and I'm gonna follow the Git workflow. So first we will create a new, I'm gonna call it like this, a new branch. We have changes, so I'm gonna commit them, date, trends. I'm gonna push it to the branch, to the, I made a typo. I try to create a pull request, and since I have the extension installed, I can do it from within Visual Studio Code. This is like to showcase it, but I don't like it. I would use the web browser interface. So you can use it from within here. For instance, you have here the pull request, the div, you can add comments, etc. Okay. So since this is in the list of recommended extensions of this specific Visual Studio project, any team member working on the project would do like the same workflow with the same ID. Okay. But the interesting part is in here. This is the GitHub Actions extension. So since we made a commit to a pull request, we're running continuous integration. I don't know why we cannot check the logs from within Visual Studio until the job finishes. So now the interesting thing is you can check like the different steps is performing, which is nice. And we have added another thing. If I list the environments now, I have the one corresponding to the current pull request, which is number 13. Okay, it was number 13. You can look it here. So the environment is going to be available once the CI pipeline finishes. So if I go to the web interface and I refresh, this is not the workspace, this one. I have here the environment that continuous integration created, and I have here the change. See the blue label in there.
El blue label es un elixir.
With the changes I did. So there's like okay, if you are more familiar with the UI or whatever, you can like do acceptance from within the Tinybird user interface. Okay, but imagine this is approved and I want to merge it. I can do it from within Visual Studio Code. Merge pull request. I didn't show you, but here we can check the logs, for instance, of the CI pipeline. So I'm gonna go to the end. So we can double check, for instance, that regression tests were run for each pipe, okay? And everything passed as expected and so on, because we didn't do any breaking change, okay? Now I have merged the pull request, and two things are gonna happen. First, the environment it was created, it's gonna be removed. And second, the changes are going to be deployed to the main environment. And that's it. Then we would check out main, we would pull the changes, and we will continue with the Git workflow within Visual Studio Code. Okay. Let's wait for the CD pipeline to finish. Okay. It finished. Let's double check from the UI, for instance. This is not this one. Pipes, trend, change deployed. Okay, that's it.